This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Yo, what is up, great friends? Alex Padilla and John Browner with you guys. Just the crew. Scott will be back tomorrow. If you were here yesterday, you know what's going on with him, and we'll leave it at that. We're brought to you by 7 Mile Casino, just minutes away from downtown San Diego, with all of your favorite table games, a full Sammy's restaurant and bar. Also, a really great place to watch some sports. So if you're looking for a place to go check out Padres Royals, or if you're looking for a place to watch Lakers Nuggets, go play your favorite table games, grub on some Sammys, and watch the games on their endless amounts of TVs all over the casino. 7milecasino.com. And remember, it's all supposed to be fun. So if you have any sort of issue, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'm Alex Padilla at Alex Padilla 86. He's John Browner at Browner's Podcast on Twitter. JB, you're rocking the hat today. They got a win last night. How you feeling? Not necessarily about the Padres, just in general today.
Feeling solid. No complaints. Really feel like in a good place. Rolling, smooth.
I saw a tweet yesterday from JT the Brick. Let me try and pull it up. JT the Brick, not Vic the Brick. JT the Brick, the Raiders guy that we have on. I don't know if you know the difference between
the two. Is Tatis still traded?
Tatis has not been traded yet.
Oh, I thought that because that was his hot take.
His take was that they were shopping him.
That they were going to trade him.
That they were trying to trade him.
Yeah.
Who's to say that's not true? At JT the Brick, after 26 years in radio and going strong, I hope that someday I can have a show in which I can kill the first 20 minutes of my show and the last 10 just talking about nonsense. Food, what I watch on TV, my weekend, what my wife has planned for dinner, and other meaningless BS. I feel personally attacked by JT the Brick. Was he listening to our show yesterday? Or not? Maybe not yesterday. Probably not yesterday, because we did talk a lot of Padres yesterday. But that feels like, I don't think he was talking about us, but it sounds like he was listening to something. And he was not vibing with that style.
JT's a very old school radio guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think what JT may be missing is that if you live in a town where there's only the Padres and the Aztecs, with the addition of maybe or maybe not an MLS team, who knows how important that will be to the lexicon of communication when it comes to sports. What else? What are you going to talk about? What are you going to talk about? Nola's batting average? Like,
actually, I don't even agree with you right now, to be honest with you.
How so?
Like, I think that's such an old mentality of thinking about what sports radio is. What town do you live in? And that's the only thing you can get to talk about. You can.
Well, no. My point is, this show in particular, we talk about whatever the top topic is. We're not stranglehold to talk about only Padres. We talk about the top topic, and sometimes the top topic amongst the three of us is something we've done. And so, therefore, our style isn't, traditional. But it's also not more of what people do modernly. The top topic of this show is whatever one of us is doing.
Yeah. I think people like that. I think I was gonna go with, I think JT is John from Instagram.
Ooh, it could be. He could be hating.
I think we found him.
He could be keeping track. He could be ghost following.
And by the way, I love
direct
JT.
complaint.
By the way, I love JT. I grew up listening to JT and Tom Looney on AM 570 forever. So I'm not trying to diss JT whatsoever at all, not even a little bit. I just found it really funny because that's literally how we start most shows is, what'd you do yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you do yesterday? What'd you eat? What'd you watch? What'd you do this? And dude, especially when Scott's not here, because I feel like we watch the same amount of television and same films. It's
by the way, since we're on the topic, Silo. Apple TV. Woo! Off to a good start. Continue.
I don't know what that is, but
you got Apple TV?
I do.
Silo. Silo. It's their new series. It's 3 episodes deep. You'll like it.
Okay.
It's well done. Your wife will like it. It's well done.
I'll give it a shot. Who's in it? Come on, Browner.
Let me see. There is Commons in it, but Common is the eighth
That
character.
Rashida Jones,
Yes, but there's a catch to Rashida Jones's character.
Tim
But you gotta
Robbins,
watch it. Tim Robbins, solid acting job.
and the girl from Mission Impossible.
That guy's 6'10", man. He's a big guy. Yeah, I don't know her name. She's great in it too. It's a very interesting show. I would recommend it for people.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Very
Appreciate
good. Very
that.
good.
I'm not watching anything right now except what's week to week Succession. That's it. I'm not watching anything at the moment.
This is a good thing to start.
This
is a very good thing to start.
All right.
But yeah, I don't necessarily sit around worrying about other people's dislike for styles of radio, because I think JT does his JT's like Rome. And again, there's nothing wrong with Rome, but these guys have been in the business for 30 years. They're on a stationary bike. They're just pedaling. They're pedaling for exercise. They're pedaling for repetition. They're not turning down any new corners. They're not doing any wheelies. They're just pedaling on the stationary bike. It's cool. It's good. Is it a Peloton? Probably not.
The Pelotons got recalled recently, so that may not be a good analogy. 3 million Pelotons got recalled. If you own a Peloton, it got recalled.
Okay, what's a let me be very clear about recalls to certain demographics of people in this country. The only recall I care about are car recalls and food recalls. Outside of that, miss me unless they give me my money back. What kind of recall has occurred that you can't ride it anymore?
So basically, there is a seat, and the bar that holds the seat, like the cane looking thing that holds the seat, so you slide the seat in, you strap it in. The bar that goes up and down, that thing that holds your entire body weight, has been snapping on people. It's been cracking. So you have not necessarily snapping, you're falling off, but it has shown that it wilts. So I have already ordered. I didn't have to send my entire bike back, but I ordered a piece. They send it for free, shipping for free. So now I'm expecting a new thing to remove, take the seat out, put the seat back in, put it back.
That sounds like that's not a problem.
But I mean,
that sounds like that's not a problem.
Anytime a company says the word recall, I think when I had my old Honda Civic, I think my windshield wiper got recalled, and it was oh, Honda recalls 1 million things, and it's yeah, but it's a windshield wiper. It's not good. The entire automobile is
right.
The
tires aren't falling off.
Right. So
I came across something that's funny. This has nothing to do with recalls. I wrote something down last night. I was in a sports days of trying to find something to watch, and nothing was coming across. And I saw a pan of the crowd at Petco last night, Monday night.
Yeah.
Against the Kansas City Royals.
You're forgetting what happened yesterday already.
What?
It was a Manny Machado City Connect bobblehead giveaway.
Does it? I don't. That's
it matters. Oh yes, it is.
Whoa!
Talk to me tomorrow about tonight's crowd. If there's 43,000 people there tonight, then talk to me about it. I promise you, Browner. I promise you that you are underestimating the power of a bobblehead giveaway.
Okay,
I didn't even let you finish your thought.
Because this is what I don't understand about people who get caught up on these $8 trinkets. Okay, do you know
you could resell them for $300? That's why.
Ain't nobody buying no Manny Machado bobblehead for $300, bro. You cannot resell that Manny Machado bobblehead for the price of the tickets you paid to get in the building. I'm not a believer of that. I'm really not. I think
last night's Manny Machado bobblehead is already on eBay for $57, $60, $45. So not $300, but last night's on eBay, $60.
Not sold either. And what's the average price of a ticket to get into Petco? $40?
I don't know.
So my point is, the average price of the ticket won't cover this quote unquote $300 bobblehead, according to you. So to me, I wrote this down for the people who are upset about Ron Fowler's decision, not Ron Fowler, I'm sorry, about Peter Siler's decision to spend the money. Look around last night. They may not be first in the standings, but clearly they're first in the heart of San Diego. Because people are finding ways to get down there whenever they can. Are the tickets higher than they were before? Yes, they were. But at the end of the day, you are getting people to show up in a downtown ballpark at 6:40. Was it last night?
Mm-hmm.
At 6:40 in the traffic in San Diego at 6:40 against the Kansas City Royals on a Monday. Bobbleheads ain't doing that, bro. Entertainment is doing that.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm interested in tonight's.
I appreciate
no giveaway.
I appreciate the respect that you're giving Padres fans. I appreciate all that. But as someone who was there, as someone who was there on a Monday night against the Atlanta Braves about 3 weeks ago, it's the bobblehead.
What they give away when you went?
Not a damn thing. And there was not 43,000. I'm going to look up the exact attendance right now. And I appreciate it, Browner. I really do. I don't buy it, but I appreciate your sentiment because that's not it. I guarantee you tonight will not be 43,000 people.
If you
guaranteed,
the cheapest ticket this year is probably this series.
Sure.
Up to this
also
point so
possible.
far.
But also, when I went with the Braves, okay, put it this way in perspective, okay? Saturday night, Dodger versus the Dodgers at Petco. I paid $90 for a general admission ticket, the Gallagher Square ticket. $90.
Okay.
That Monday night for Atlanta, I looked at it out of curiosity, even though I had a suite that night. I looked at it out of curiosity because I had just paid for the Dodger tickets. Like, how much is this Braves Gallagher Square ticket going for? $25. That night's attendance was 31,800 people.
Okay.
Thus being, the bobblehead was the reason it was so crowded.
I would
tell me if I'm wrong, chat. We'll get an answer. Like, tell me if I'm wrong.
I would argue that it's a combination of many things. One, obviously, the interest in the team. Two, the ticket price. I don't think so. You said 21,000 when you were there.
31,000.
31,000. I don't think bobblehead drove another 10,000 people. I just don't believe that the bobblehead is that valuable. I just don't. I think that people look at
giveaways are that valuable.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Giveaways.
This is true.
When Joe Musgrove's bucket hat, it was 43,000 people there.
This is true. But a hat and bobblehead.
The Trevor Hoffman jersey giveaway with the old 98
totally
stripes.
Different.
Packed.
Totally different. Totally. But listen to what you're saying. A hat is wearable. A shirt is wearable. What can you do with a bobblehead? It will sit in a box. It will do nothing. You can wear that Joe Musgrove hat all summer. That becomes a fashion thing.
Here's the beautiful thing about everything that you're saying. Here's the beautiful thing about everything that you're saying. One of us will be proven correct tonight.
True.
Because it's the same team. It's a Tuesday. It's not a marquee pitching matchup.
I'm gonna look at the ticket price.
There is nothing. And by the way, since we're here tonight, tonight is Seth Lugo. It's not going to be like some incredible pitching matchup. So tonight we'll have an answer right away. Right away, Browner.
I'm looking at.
I genuinely think you are terribly mistaken. I do think there would have been 30,000 people there yesterday, but it would not have been a sellout if it wasn't for the Manny Machado bobblehead.
See, look, no, bro. You can be in section 114. You could be in section 114 for as low as $27.
Yeah.
You can be behind the plate for $75. I'm not doubting your bobblehead conspiracy. I'm not doubting
it's not a conspiracy. It's just a matter of a fact.
I'm not doubting the tinfoil bobblehead argument. Can
Tinfoil.
can that drive? Can that drive 3,000-4,000 people? Yeah, of course it can. But to get 41,000 in there, that's more driven by the price, because people who can't afford those tickets, when they get a chance to go, they have to be smart with their money, and because things are expensive here, obviously we all know that, we live here. But when you look on the calendar, you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at the prices. You see that Royals game, you go, that's my game. That's the game I'm
Sure.
taking my family to. I don't
Sure.
give a damn what day it is. I'm
Okay.
taking my family to this Monday through Wednesday,
Yeah.
because I can sit in section 114 for $27.
And I bet you tomorrow's even cheaper. I bet you tomorrow's day game is even cheaper.
All right, let me hit it. Let me hit it then. Let me
I,
hit it then.
I listen. I am not arguing your points.
Another
I'm just
sellout. 114, $19. There
yeah.
you go. Another
Like I said,
41,000.
I am not. And by the way, on the Game Time app, you can get in the door for $18
That's what
tonight. But
again.
tonight, okay. I
Upper
wasn't
row.
planning on.
Here's the greatest
Okay.
deal you can find. Vivid
Okay.
seats. Upper row. Now, checkout is different than actual thing. $5 for section 318. Now, I personally wouldn't sit in section 318 because you
Yeah.
might as well be sitting in one of the high rises. But
Yeah.
$5, man.
But for the people that you're talking about, somebody would do it.
You can't even get a Happy Meal for $5 no more.
So, okay, but before I derailed everything about this segment, what were you going to say? You were just giving the Padres fans credit for losing 5 in a row
Oh.
and still showing up against the Royals?
I was giving the fans credit and Peter Seidler credit for showing up on a Monday night when you can look around the league and see the empty seats all around Major League Baseball on a Monday night or a Monday day game.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to San Diego and it's 40,000 in there. 40,000. That needs to be noticed. That needs to be talked about, because that is what's going to keep the energy flowing with this team. And they got the win last night, which is good. You always want to come home to a happy crowd and you give them something to cheer for. And they did. Pitching was great. The other guy had more walks. I could have thrown that many walks yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Manny got hit. Manny got hurt, but it was a win. A win's a win.
Well, let's talk about that then. So, shout out to the Padres fans for showing up. But yes, yesterday this was the top story of the game. Manny Machado got hit by a pitch. Who, by the way, has he ever gone out of the way of a pitch before? That was an off speed that still hit him right on the upper hand of his left hand. Good news. No fractures, no broken bones, which means no significant time off. That is very, 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 very good to see. But Manny, are you just seeing the ball that bad right now? Get out the way, bro.
Or turn into it.
Something. That was
it hit him in the hand because the way he tried to dodge it. Just, put that big old shoulder out there. Bam. Take it on the back, man. Take it on the back. It's better than the hand.
Yesterday, 2 hits with runners on scoring position. Fernando Tatis came in with 1. Hassan Kim came in with 1. But still, another story of the game, a career night for Michael Wacha. 7 innings pitched, only 1 hit, struck out 11, no earned runs. Obviously, Bob Melvin at 100 pitches, let him back out for the 8th, gave up a hit immediately, took him out immediately. But Michael Wacha, dude, this is so nice. It's like when you eat something really bitter, when you just it's disgusting in your mouth and you get like a palate cleanser. That's what the Kansas City Royals are for the Padres right now. They're so awful. They're so terrible. I am now demanding. I was like, you got to win the series. I'm now demanding a sweep. There's no way you can lose to this team. They're brutal, man. They're brutal.
Momentum is next day's pitching. Momentum is next day pitching. You know that. If they get a guy come on the mound and mow down 11 guys like Wacha did.
Okay. Well, tonight, this guy named Brad Singer. He got 7.71 ERA. He's allowed 34 earned runs this year so far.
God.
Browner, that's the 4th most runs allowed in all of baseball. No.
But he's got 2 wins. He got 2 wins.
He got 2
wins. He could get hot.
Dude, demand it with me, Browner. A series. And what's going to happen if they don't do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like what are we going to do? boycott them.
Look, man,
They got to win. They got to win tonight, and they have to win tomorrow. No excuses.
One thing I have learned about this team, if I'm going to continue to be a front runner for them and blow the horn for them, they're unpredictable.
Oh,
totally unpredictable.
yeah.
So I could never come on here and with any sort of confidence tell you that against a bad team, guys are going to come in locked in.
You got Darvish on. You got Seth Lugo's been solid tonight. You got Darvish tomorrow.
The manager just told y'all these dudes don't focus. So you think they ain't looked at that ERA and went, "Oh yeah, we good tomorrow"?
No, I hope they look at the ERA like, yeah, let's treat it like Mexico City and hit out some home runs off this fool.
I hope so.
Yeah, because even yesterday, as nice as the win was, they got 5 hits. But I mean, they got 10 walks, so they didn't really have too many opportunities to do things. But we are brought to you by 7 Mile Casino. We got lots to get to tonight. We'll talk more about the Padres. We will talk with Harrison Faigen, our NBA insider, and plenty more to get to. This is Kaplan and Crew. Visit us, kaplanandcrew.com.
Hi, welcome to OG's.
Touching down this football season at OG's has never looked better. You can now eat pizza, drink beer, and earn rewards at select OG's locations. You won't miss a live game when you're watching at OG's. We're going all out, all game, all season long.
From New York City comes America's longest running and most popular rugby show. The biggest names in Major League Rugby, MLR highlights, and big match previews. Rugby Wrap-Up presents MLR Weekly, made in New York City.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by OG Sports Brewhouse Pizza, where you can eat pizza, drink beer, and earn rewards.
All right, great friends. Hey, we welcome you back inside the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com. As promised, the head coach of the San Diego State basketball team, I'm wasting no time at all. Coach Brian Dutcher returns to Kaplan and Crew. Coach, how are you today?
Top of the world. I'm throwing out the first pitch tonight, so I'm good.
That is so cool. Have you ever thrown out a first pitch?
No, no, I haven't. I haven't won enough to throw out a first pitch. I guess I finally won enough to get a throw out one.
And have you?
You better get that arm ready there.
Yeah. Have you practiced at all, Coach?
No, I remember when Matt Sawyer used to take Coach Fisher out and they throw some warm ups, but I'm just gonna lob it up there. I'm not trying to throw heat or anything.
You do know, though, that everybody's watching. Like, if it's a good one, we're all going to go, wow, great job, Coach. But if it's really bad, I mean, everybody's going to have this video. I mean, no pressure.
No, I saw Pete Kelsey bounce one in this week, so I already know what it is.
Oh, yeah, and you should have seen Browner here down at the Chula Vista Little League this past Saturday. Also couldn't get to the plate.
Maybe I'll just set one on like T-ball. I'll set one on a tee.
Coach, the obvious place to start is huge congratulations to you, your players, the program, San Diego State as an institution, all the players that came before this group that contributed to the growth of the program. Huge congratulations. How different is your life 10 days after the Final Four in the national championship game?
You know, Scott, I'm so used to working that we got back on Tuesday. I was in the office Wednesday morning, and we're recruiting. We're trying to build next year's team. So as much as I enjoyed it, I'm not a guy that ever over-celebrates anything, even though it's something to be celebrated. I've got my eyes on next year and trying to put a team together that can be really good again.
Have you had a chance to think at all about, like, standing there on the floor inside a giant football stadium, knowing that you were on the biggest stage in college basketball? And as an assistant, you may have been there before a long time ago, but have you had any chance to just sort of think about what happened in those couple of days in Houston?
I always say, like, I'm a guy that likes to almost sit back and watch everybody enjoy the experience, but I enjoyed it myself too. You know, I told my assistant coaches on that elevated floor, I said, I'll see you guys at halftime. Make some notes. So it's a different experience to be up there and coaching on that stage on the biggest platform, and truly a platform, and just watching, taking the time to look out into the crowd and seeing all the great Aztec fan base there to enjoy it. First time experience for all of us, me as a head coach, San Diego State as a participant in the city of San Diego, and just watch everybody kind of celebrate that moment, but at the same time, trying to figure out how to win games.
Yeah, it was an amazing run. It really was. Coach, just I'd love to hear what you were thinking when Butler hit the shot that moved San Diego State from the Final Four to the championship game. Could you just go back to what was going on prior to that? Because everybody talked about there's still a timeout. Will he take it? Jim Nantz made mention on national TV. He doesn't have his shooters on the floor. Could you just go back to that sequence and what you were doing?
Yeah, it was like the possession before. We were down 3 and brought it up the floor, and I took a timeout. And I wanted to set up a play to try to get a 3 out of a sideline out of bounds. And if we didn't have the 3, throw it to Jaden Ledee and let him go one-on-one because he just scored one-on-one. And then we scored that basket. I took another timeout, and I looked at the time difference on the clock, and I felt even if they shot the ball, we'd have enough time to get down the length of the floor. And I told him at that time, we are not taking a timeout. And I said, we don't have shooters on the floor. I have 3 bigs on the floor. So cause a miss, get the rebound, get it to Lamont, make sure they're not doubling back trying to intercept that pass. And then you 3 bigs run to the rim, because if he misses, we'll have 3 bigs in to tip it in. And then Micah Parrish, you find space in case he needs to kick for a 3. And so I kind of had a thought in my mind what I wanted to do. But obviously players make the plays in March. Lamont made a magnificent play. They cut him off. He kind of crossed over, came back, and shot a beautiful pull-up jump shot to make me look good as a coach and us look good as a team.
Coach, what made this team different from the other 2 teams that you got to the Sweet 16? Obviously, you played UConn. You played big teams in those tournaments as well. But what separated this team from advancing? Like when you beat Alabama, and I think a lot of people thought you could beat Alabama, but when you did it, and then you had this crazy game against FAU, what made this team different as opposed to the other ones you've had in the past?
Yeah, this is the greatest team in Aztec history because of how far they went and what they did. I'm not sure it's the best team. So there's a difference. I mean, that Kawhi Leonard team with Malcolm Thomas, Billy White, DJ Gay, that was a team capable of winning a national championship. The X-Thames team with Poe Lee and J.J. O'Brien, Josh Davis, Skylar Spencer, that was a really good team too. But sometimes it's just the path lays out. You win games. And I'm just thinking back, like the other 5 seed was St. Mary's. They played UConn in the second round. What if we're that 5 seed and we play UConn in the second round and get beat? And we're talking about, hey, great, Dutcher got his first tournament win. But it just laid out for us where the path wasn't easy, but we took advantage of the path we had.
Coach, you have had the governor of California tweet about you, the vice president tweet about you, and you've got you guys had the city on fire for the program. How has that changed anything that you're doing going forward? And has it opened the door for the recruiting process to become a little bit bigger and a little bit better?
This is the talk we had back when we had Kawhi Leonard, Malcolm Thomas, Billy White. We won at such a level, they said, well, boy, you're really going to be able to go out and get some players now. We have players that just went to the national championship game. So we'll continue to recruit how we do. Recruit guys with chips on their shoulders that have a lot of potential, that are about the right things. And I like the way we've recruited over the years. So we'll continue to do what we do. Maybe it'd put us in front of a different kid or two. But for the most part, we've got good enough players in this program to win in any conference and at any level.
Talking to Coach Brian Dutcher this afternoon. It's Kaplan and Crew, and Coach Dutcher is with us. We're still talking about this San Diego State run. And, Coach, I was telling the guys, we're not going to stop. You know, I want to keep talking to these kids. I want them to be known commodities in this town. We know their names, want to know their stories, want to know more about these guys. Because like you said, by virtue of what they accomplish, it's the greatest San Diego State basketball team ever. It doesn't necessarily mean it was the most talented or the best, but I want to keep going with these guys because they really did something special. And I just got to say that this Final Four run, it really entranced the whole city was into it. Like I've never seen anything like it before. And when Butler hit that shot, Coach, that is like one of the top 5 moments in the history of San Diego sports. Does everybody have a grasp on that quite yet?
No, and they asked me at the time how big Butler's shot was. I said, if we win the whole thing, they'll remember it nationally forever, but it'll never be forgotten in San Diego. So that shot will live in San Diego for as long as San Diego State is playing basketball and the city embraces college basketball. So it was an incredible moment. Nationally, it'll be remembered, but not like it would have if we won the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. One of the best things is there's a picture of Lamont Butler and he's letting go of the ball. And for us, just being a little selfish, our man Alex here is standing in the background with his arms raised before the ball has even gone through the net. It was awesome.
I knew it was going in, Coach. Never had a doubt in my mind. I don't know about you, but I was confident from the stands.
Well, me, I'm thinking, is there time left on the clock? What do I have to do? I mean, I put both arms up, but then I was like, what if they put 0.2 of a second on the clock? So I'm still in coach mode. And the same thing can happen against UConn. To go to the Final Four, we really didn't get to celebrate. It's like they're going to put time on the clock. I'm convinced of it. So we have no timeouts. If it's their ball, here's what we're going to do to keep Kalkbrenner from throwing to the rim and getting a lob to tip in to beat us. If it's our ball, we want to throw deep. So all we have to do is touch it. And then the refs come over and say, no more time. So it's like a anticlimactic celebration to go to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. And same thing with Florida Atlantic. It's like, I'm convinced they're going to put time on the clock. They always do. And so when that moment happened, Dusty May was trying to shake my hand before the refs ruled it good. I said, Dusty, I'm not that guy. I want to make sure they count it before, we shake hands and we start celebrating.
Coach, I thought the most impactful thing throughout the tournament was I saw your team's true identity come to the surface. The amount of defense, the 40 minutes of defense from end to end that your team was able to play throughout each game, you could see it was frustrating these other teams you guys were playing because they were used to guys playing like that maybe a couple minutes a game, maybe a half. But when you guys were pressuring guys like that and defending like that the entire time, I think you guys wore a lot of people down. Were you able to get the guys to see that through film study? And did they pick up on it? Or was this just something that all year you guys were doing?
It's just our culture. Like when we do a shooting drill early in the year, like we want to make 120 in 2 minutes or whatever that is. And if we don't make it, a lot of coaches say, okay, on the line, down and back. And I'll say, okay, on the line, we're going to do some defensive slides. We're going to do shuffles. We're going to do this and that. Because I tell them there's games where as open as we are, the ball's not going to go in. How are we going to win those games? When we're wide open, it's a great shot. It doesn't go in. Those are the games we're going to win with our defense. So it's just a mindset. It's a culture that we're going to be defense first. And as open as we are, sometimes the ball does not go in. And we're one of a handful of teams that are going to win games when the ball doesn't go in.
See, going into this tournament, Coach, and you know this well, but the country learned about it. Going into the tournament, you were 0-3 in the NCAA tournament as a head coach at San Diego State. Now you're 5-4.
Going over 500, that's not very good.
Well, hey, it's better than being under 500. It's better than being 0-3. That all happened in one tournament. And what I thought was really interesting is how we have gotten the chance to see the development of the program. For a lot of America, people are like, wow, San Diego State. And then what they start to do is they say this, Brian Dutcher, one of the top college basketball coaches in the country. Like they start to talk about you differently. Are you a much better coach at 5-4 in the NCAA tournament than you were when you were an 0-3 record?
Well, hopefully I'll get paid like a better coach. But
Coach
I've always been. Richard, our sports information director, I asked Richard because I didn't know. I said, how many NCAA tournament games have I been on the bench? Not head coach, been on the bench. I think it was like 56 NCAA tournament games. So I just say now I'm 63. I know a lot more at 63 than I knew at 53, than I knew at 43, than I knew at 33. Even though at that time I thought I knew everything. Mm-hmm. So if you can survive in this business, those experiences pay off. And so I chose my path wisely. I knew I wanted to retire as a coach. Sometimes you think you're going to be the coach that takes a lesser school and resurrects it. And in 3 years, you're out of work and you can't find a job. So I thank Coach Fisher for keeping me along for that ride for so long. And, I was patient until I got the job I wanted, which was this one.
Yeah. I want to ask a very open-ended question to you, Coach, and it maybe has to do with pay, maybe has to do with assistants, maybe has to do with conference. What is the future of this program now? Obviously the rumors of Pac-12, Big 12 realignment. Assistant coaches could get poached when you make a national championship run. We all know which players are coming and which players are leaving. What is the future of this program?
You know, we've been in the Mountain West my whole time here, and I always say we're a high major program in a non-Power 5 conference. I'm trying to paint us like Gonzaga. Gonzaga's in the WCC, but they're looked at as a high major program. I think the West Coast always believed that San Diego State plays high major basketball, but now the nation's kind of been made aware of that. So I think it's upped our branding in the nation. West Coast, it's always been good. So if we make a conference move, you know, I'm not stressed over it. I know we're a good enough program to survive wherever we end up. And whether it's in the Mountain West, we'll continue to have a high major program in the Mountain West. If we're in the Pac-12 or Big 12, our intention is just to compete at the highest level in those conferences. So those all happen at a level beyond me. Whatever decisions are made by John David Wicker and President De La Torre, you know, I'm in support of, and wherever we end up, whether it's staying here or moving on, we'll be ready for that challenge.
Coach, you guys have you spoke about this actually when the interview first began about getting back to the business of coaching. You were already recruiting again. With the transfer portal being such a vital process to San Diego State before it became a national thing, before guys started talking about all this talks about transfer portal, you guys were already locked in and recruiting that way, using transfers to build the program. Now that everybody is such a focal point of the transfer portal, has it changed the way that you guys operate within it?
It's all NIL. You know, NIL is everything in the portal right now. And, you know, some of these players are being offered $260,000. If you're a big center, you might get $1 million, like a Dickinson or a kid at Kentucky. And so there's a lot of money being thrown around in the portal. And so we have to navigate that. We're not throwing that money away. We're not paying like that.
Yeah. Hey, Coach Dutcher, congratulations to you, to your family, to the program, to the players, et cetera. Really amazing job. We really appreciate you always. And thanks for doing this with us today. And by the way, good luck with your first pitch tonight at the Padres game.
Well, the only way you'll see it is if I throw it in the dirt.
Kind of rooting for that, just like a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I knew if anybody would be, it'd be you.
Hey, Coach, we appreciate you. Thank you so much, and congrats.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by OG Sports Brewhouse Pizza, where you can eat pizza, drink beer, and earn rewards.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. only on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com.
Hi, welcome to OG's.
Touching down this football season at OG's has never looked better. You can now eat pizza, drink beer, and earn rewards at select OG's locations. You won't miss a live game when you're watching at OG's. We're going all out, all game, all season long.
Murray Lampert now brings architectural and interior design to a whole new level for your remodel, ADU, or whole house build.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Visit murraylampert.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Kaplan and Crew with just the crew. Alex Padilla, John Browner with you guys today. Scott will be back tomorrow. We are brought to you by Medcline, and good news, Browner. They're back on for another few weeks. Medcline, go to medcline.com/greatfriends to get 20% off your purchase. Browner, tell the people how you sleep.
Like a baby. Listen, man, you got to get your hands on one of these. They give different versions of it depending on how awful your sleep is. If you have acid reflux like Alex, you may need a different plan than me. I have shoulder pain. This has been a revelation in my life. I have slept fantastically since I've gotten this thing. There are no drugs involved. It's just simply a better way for your body to be angled while you sleep. Then it has relieved me of shoulder pain that I've had since I was probably 13 years old. So I recommend it to you to try it, to buy it if you have trouble sleeping. From a physical standpoint, if you have physical issues sleeping, this may be the solution that you were looking for, like I was looking for, that I didn't even know existed. So holla at Medcline, man. Medcline.com/greatfriends. Get that 20% off.
There you go. Joining us right now is our NBA insider.
And
Our
typing
NBA
like a
insider.
madman.
I think he typed in medcline.com/greatfriends to see what the hell we're talking
Yeah, I
about.
had to get those deals. I heard the read. It was so good.
20% off. You
Respect,
get like this pillow. It gets rid of any. Are you a side sleeper? You sleep on your shoulders?
I am actually the worst type of sleeper. I am a front sleeper.
A front sleeper.
And so, which is, not medically advisable, I would say.
Yeah. What is the medically advised way to sleep anyways? Like,
I think you're supposed to sleep on your back but some people kind of need some extra help to breathe if they do that.
Yeah. I always push my wife if she's sleeping on her back. With the snoring, I can't handle it, dude. So
you got to get her some of those breathing strips or something.
Something. I got to do something. But Harrison Faigen is our NBA insider. He's joining us right now. Are you still considered also a Lakers blogger?
Yes, I've made my triumphant return to Lakers blogging, I would say. At least for the playoff run, especially trying to, get some blogs in while the interest in the team is high. And, frankly, my interest in the team is higher than it was, first half of the season. I'm like, I'll blog occasionally. I don't know. It's not really what I was hired to do. Team's good now, though. So it's like, this is kind of fun.
Let me ask you. Let's start it there because when I was still doing the podcast for Silver Screen and Roll, it was like scratching nails on a chalkboard trying to do that thing early on in the season because it was so bad. The team was unlikable. I was just continuously pooping on Darvin Ham, which I kind of still do a little bit. But how surprising is this turnaround? Were you one of the people that looked at the trade deadline and be like, yep, this team is really good now? Or was it still a surprise of what they've done?
Yeah, like probably everyone, I certainly thought the team was better at the trade deadline with the moves. I'd have to go back and look at my takes on what exactly I said, but I think I said that I see a path here now for them to compete in the Western Conference. Now, Western Conference Finals was still probably higher than what I would have predicted at the point that the moves were made, but I expected them to be competitive, maybe probably win around and then see what happened from there. But the fact that they've been able to win two, it's not, I'm not passing out from shock given how they've played or anything like that. But yeah, this is better than even I thought, at the time when the moves were made. And I say that as someone who thought the moves were pretty good and that they had improved significantly from where they were before. And although, given who they sent out, it would have been hard not to improve significantly.
Right. That was my thing too. To improve this much is surprising to me, though. And considering who they played in the playoffs, obviously Memphis went through, and they're still going through a bunch of random stuff. But to beat Memphis and then I was like, there's no way they're going to beat the Warriors. I just thought the Warriors they seem to always figure it out in the playoffs. We've never faced Steph Curry besides that one play-in game in the playoffs. So I was expecting to just
they were undefeated in the postseason against Steph Curry. Okay, LeBron hit that shot with only one eye. He was seeing three rims.
That's true.
On one leg. Yeah, he had a peg leg installed for that game. It was incredible. One of the most one of the most resilient performances we've ever seen.
I saw three rims.
Yeah, he aimed for the middle one. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
That's the secret to if you're visually impaired. Just aim for the middle one.
Browner, you've never heard that before? You got to aim for the one in the middle, man. It's very easy once you know that.
Yeah,
I think that was in Rocky, wasn't it? I see three guys hit the one in the middle.
Yeah,
that was in a boxing movie. Yeah.
But to beat the Grizzlies, a great home team, to beat the Warriors, a great team at home, and now to go up against the Warriors, this is a pretty.
What are you doing?
Looking at record-wise, they were the three best home teams in all the NBA. That's just a fact.
Okay, so let's also talk about the other things that are surrounding those two teams. One team had a guy with guns like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his heyday. That's a problem. The other team had a guy punch another guy in the face, and it got public. Team fights happen all the time, more than you know.
Now that's a big deal. Something that happened in September.
Hold on. Because if you watch the energy of Jordan Poole, when things got tough, he acted as if he didn't want to be there. So this team, I will give the Lakers credit for this. I cannot hate on them for this. What they did to Klay Thompson was fantastic. Now, half of it was Klay. The other half was the Laker defense. I will give them full credit for that. They totally took Klay out of the series. They deserve their just due for that. Jordan Poole took himself out. So don't act like they went up against the juggernaut. Now, they beat the Nuggets. I'm silent. Zip,
Well, there was no
throw it in the ocean.
juggernaut, right?
I was going to ask, what's your excuse if they beat the Nuggets? Like, what
Nothing.
if they defeat the Nuggets? What are you going to come up with as the asterisk for that?
Zero.
Series?
Unless someone gets hurt. No one
But
gets
also
hurt.
this year, didn't we just talk about all year how like there is no juggernaut in the NBA this year? I mean, the Bucks lost in the first round to the Heat. Like I think
True.
We always talked about how wide open the NBA was this year. I was just pointing out that the Lakers have gone on the road against teams that are significantly better at home than they are on the road and stolen games away and have won both series at home on game 6. So I just thought it was like I was giving them more credit. Leading Harrison to ask what he was already saying is how impressive it's been what they've done so far.
Yeah, and to add to that, the Lakers are, I believe, the first team in like 10 years to stop the Warriors from winning a road game in the Western Conference. Like that is, again, these are not your KD era Warriors, your earlier Steph level Warriors, but that's still, they ended that streak. That team, with those 3 guys was, I believe, undefeated in the Western Conference series. Like I don't think they had lost.
It's their first non-finals playoff loss ever.
Yeah, since Steve Kerr came in with those 3 guys.
That group.
Yeah, that whole sort of core 4 or whatever you want to call it. So what they've been able to do and the adjustments that they've been able to make and sort of the waves of talent and adjustments that they're able to come at you with. It's like, okay, Jared Vanderbilt really helpful on Steph in game 1, but okay, Warriors have kind of figured that out a little bit. They're figuring out ways to kind of get him away from Steph Curry where he's making less of an impact. Okay, we're starting Dennis Schroeder and we're gonna pester you that way. And we're gonna go to like Rui Hachimura, like not as effective this series, but we're gonna dust off Lonnie Walker and he's gonna come in and be able to compete. And so like they've had a number of, and to say nothing of like D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves doing, both. Like Austin I thought was really, really resilient and great defensively last series, chasing Steph, chasing Clay around, again, not always the most effective, but to be able to do that and then come in and have the offensive game that he did despite some tired legs, like by game 6 was really great. D'Lo has been sort of up and down as you would expect from sort of based on his history, but in the games when he's really good, and this has been true basically since the Lakers acquired him, in the games where his shot is on, the Lakers are basically unbeatable because, that's the guy that teams are going to play off of or put one of their weaker defenders on, and if he can attack and sort of, take advantage of his matchups, like the Lakers are really, really hard to stop. And, I've said all this without getting to the fact that AD has been, arguably the best player in the playoffs so far through 2 rounds. Like when you're factoring in what he does defensively, I'm just saying, look at the two-way impact. Anyone you're going to name has not been as impactful on defense as he has been, in addition to the offensive nights that he's had. I'll hear your argument for Jokic. I'll hear the arguments for the other guys, but AD has an argument.
You asked me a question earlier, or the question was posed to, has there been a juggernaut this year? There has not been a Warrior KD level juggernaut. There has not been a Heatles level juggernaut this season. No. The best team in the NBA all season has been the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
All season. Jokic has been the best player. I understand they gave it to Embiid because for whatever reason, you can't give a regular season award to a guy 3 years in a row.
Jokic took a 2-week vacation at the end of the regular season. He took a 2-week vacation from defense. Like
also racism, right?
I'm not touching that one.
Didn't Kendrick Perkins yell about that or something? I was just making.
Yeah, and then ESPN I think had to have someone else come on air the next day and be like, "Yeah, that stat about like the voters and how white they are was like not entirely accurate." Sorry.
I mean, racism so much. Mark Jackson forgot to put Jokic in his top 5. But anyways, continue, Brown.
So I feel like this is for the new look Lakers, who since the trade deadline had the best record in the NBA. Like that's a thing. They've been playing great. This is the team. They have no injuries. They're playing well, and they've been playing consistent all year long. You have what should have been the 3-time MVP. Jamal Murray looks like he's back into form. Michael Porter Jr. has his games. Aaron Gordon has his games. KCP had his games. They're doing what the Lakers have been doing.
Yeah, you don't have to remind Lakers fans that KCP is a winning player.
The KCP
straight out the halfway house, baby. Listen, the Lakers had a player every game in the Warriors series do something that the Warriors defense or coaching staff didn't see coming. And this is why I give Darvin Ham credit. In every game, D'Angelo Russell had a game. Austin Reeves had a game. Lonnie Walker had a game. I think somebody else had a game who I can't remember right now at this point. But outside of AD and LeBron,
Vando in game one.
There we go. Outside of AD and LeBron giving you that level of consistency in every win, that was a third guy that was unpredictable that threw the Warriors off that they had no answer for. I'm interested to see if they can do that against the Nuggets, because the Nuggets have a guy every game that will be like, wait, well, we didn't see that coming, or we didn't see that coming, outside of Jokic and Murray. So the idea that this is really like two teams who square off really well against each other, that's what I'm interested in this. Because I think that the Nuggets have been the best team all season, and the Lakers have been the best team since the trade deadline. And in all honesty, these are the best two teams left. Because I don't like the Celtics, and I really, really don't like the Heat.
Just because you said that, the Heat are going to take this to like 7 games against the Celtics, just like through
probably
sheer grit.
Yeah, I hate the Heat, man, with a passion.
It's unbelievable. I don't know how they do it every year. It's insane. As far as to your point about the Lakers and the Nuggets and the adjustments, like I do think this series is going to be fascinating from that perspective. How much is AD sort of the primary defender on Jokic versus how much are they trying to sort of stash someone else there, either have like Vando fronting or LeBron fronting or something like that, and then having AD kind of come in as a helper and make things difficult on him, get the ball out of his hands. But Jokic, if there's one big in the league that it's kind of hard to send double teams against and not have them take advantage, it's Jokic. He is the best maybe in league history at passing out of double teams and creating advantages for a center. That's not something where, you see sometimes Embiid or AD, or like that's one of the weaknesses in their games. Or if you send doubles, sometimes it takes them a while to figure it out. It takes them, a little bit, it can fluster them, throw them off. Like Jokic, I doubt that's going to be a problem. And so, and how much is he able to sort of take advantage of the Lakers trying to, front him or hide smaller guys on him, and he's just kind of bullying them in the post, and they have to switch AD back over there. And then does that get AD in foul trouble? Is he able to defend without fouling and, make sure that he's not getting himself out of the series? Because if AD ends up in foul trouble, the Lakers have absolutely no chance in any of the games where like he is their best player at this point. And, if you maybe you want to argue LeBron still, like if you did, I would still say that AD is the player the Lakers are least built to survive without. If LeBron,
AD has the most impact. He has the most impact. LeBron can still be great, but the impact of his greatness is not equal to AD's. I agree.
Exactly. And the Lakers are more like, the Lakers aren't going to win series if LeBron misses it or something. But if LeBron were to say, defend enough to somehow get in foul trouble, and he were to have to miss, an unexpected stint on the bench, then the Lakers have guys that can handle the ball and do some LeBron things and sort of cover for that. Like if AD gets in foul trouble and has to go to the bench, it's like Wenyen Gabriel. It's, hey, Tristan, do you want to come in and tackle Jokic or something? And do you have 6 fouls out there? Just do your best, buddy. Like, let's make free throws at least.
I think Tristan and Wenyen are going to get minutes just because of that. Like, they need the fouls, I think.
Yeah, no, I think they will get. I think Wenyen will get minutes. I will be a little.
What did Mo Bamba do to Darvin Ham?
Well, he has a high ankle sprain, is what he did to Darvin. He had a high ankle sprain down the stretch of the season. Yeah, he missed originally it was 4 to 6 weeks. I forget exactly what month it happened. He came back, played like a few minutes at the end of the regular season, and then he played 10 total minutes in the Grizzlies series, 9 of which was just garbage time at the end of the final game, and re-aggravated that ankle, got a PRP injection in it, and the Lakers have already ruled him out for game 1 of this series. He told Mark Spears last round that he's hoping to return for the conference finals, but like I wrote yesterday at SSR, if Mo Bamba gives you anything, like that's gravy at this point. You're not expecting that from a guy that has played less than 100 minutes total for a team that acquired him at the trade deadline, Yeah,
Browner's very upset that Mo Bamba didn't get minutes.
I'm a huge Mo Bamba guy. I think if you're going to have somebody throw a secret punch out of the Lonnie Walker fourth quarter, Mo Bamba's your guy.
Well, hey, the Nuggets we could say the Nuggets have no tape on him, basically. So they will not be not be expecting it. So if his ankle miraculously is like good to go from that injection and he comes in as like, surprise game 2 hero, then I guess you called it first.
So let me ask you, and then I want to move on to
Mo Bamba, Thomas Bryant minutes.
Oh, that poor Thomas Bryant. Anyways, I want to ask you what you think is going to happen tonight, what you think is going to happen in the series, because I want to move on to the NBA coaching carousel, where I think all 3 coaches are just going to swap jobs. So, Harrison, what's going to happen tonight, and then what's going to happen in the series?
So I think the Lakers lose tonight, which is why I am going Lakers in 7, because I don't think that the Lakers can get the math that they've been able to do the past 2 series where they're able to go all out, win game 1. I think the altitude is going to affect that. And, that is always an adjustment period. And so I'm not sure that they're going to be able to kind of steal this game and do their normal thing where they then kind of rest game 2 and then try to take both at home and take that kind of definitive 3-1 lead. Generally, they have sort of punted that game 5 on the road and then win in 6. I don't think they're going to be able to do that because of the altitude tonight. And then, okay, like let's say, all right, they go all out and they win game 2 and they're able to steal that one on the road. But this team, with how up and down they've been in terms of energy, in terms of sort of just health status, in terms of how LeBron and AD have both clearly had to pick their spots offensively in order to kind of get through these playoffs, I don't see them being able to win 3 games in a row. And so if they have to win game 2 and go all out and try and steal that one, then I don't think that they're going to necessarily defend home court and win both of those games, which is why I think if they're going to win, then I think it has to be in 7. But that said, I do like some of their matchups in this series. I do like the fact that AD is probably going to have a game where he gets Jokic in foul trouble at least once. I do like the fact that, he has traditionally been able to defend him fairly well, and the Lakers have traditionally been able to defend him fairly well. I think that they have some guys that can attack similar mismatches as teams have been giving them the previous 2 rounds. I do think that there's a real path here for them to win the series. I just think that it's going to take them 7 games.
Lakers in 7, says our NBA insider Harrison Faigen at HM Faigen on Twitter. Okay. The Suns have fired Monty Williams. The Bucks fired Mike Budenholzer.
Rightfully so.
The Sixers fired Doc Rivers, the most overrated coach in NBA history.
What's funny is I don't think Doc deserved it this time. He finally had a good series. He didn't deserve it. He could have been fired for like any of his other Sixers playoff series. And this is the one that finally gets
James
him.
Harden is out. What did he score? 8 points in game 7, James Harden? Like, he was awful. Embiid scored, 14, 15?
No points.
I get
Small
it.
game James.
I understand, but I think history has shown what Doc Rivers. It's not just this series. It's like a culmination of second round loss, second round loss.
I'm not going to defend Doc Rivers like honor with my life or anything like that. I just think that it's funny that this is finally the series that got him, where I actually thought he did like a decent job.
I actually hate the fact that the Lakers have the coach that they're not going to fire now, because I think like Nick Nurse is a better coach than Darvin Ham. I think Mike Budenholzer is a better coach than Darvin Ham. I don't know if Monty Williams is.
I don't know. What did Bud do since Darvin left? I don't know. I think secret brains behind the operation. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
Where are the Lakers now?
Maybe I'm just a Darvin Ham hater. But anyways, how is this all going to shake out? Are we all just going to do musical chairs and all 4 of these guys are going to end up with other head coaching positions?
I'm going to need you to stop respecting Darvin Ham after all the playoff adjustments that he's made, and how well he's had this Lakers team rolling.
Yes.
Yeah, he's him.
Okay.
I was joking about the same thing on Twitter earlier today. It's like everybody's talking about, is this, are coaches more dispensable than ever? Is this the worst time to kind of be a coach? Like, it's clear that these guys are all getting scapegoated, but, the retread market has typically been okay for a lot of these coaches. And, for me personally, like, I'm not going to act like these guys are getting, are getting this like horrible raw deal. The people that I feel bad for are assistant coaches in this situations. If you're a head coach in this situation, you get to either take a couple years of paid vacation and do nothing, or like, go and take your occasional tour and be like, oh, we visited Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks today, or, oh, today we're visiting Darvin Ham and the Lakers, and I just wanted to watch practice and hang out. You get to do your kind of coaching sabbatical tour of the country.
Take a TV job.
Yeah, take a TV job. Like Doc, I think Doc's going to be great on the ABC broadcast. And so you either get that or you get paid to coach 2 teams, and you get paid. It's like you get paid by your former team from that deal, and then you get to go coach a new team and get 2 paychecks. Like, to me, this isn't that bad for these guys. I think it's good work if you can get a couple $1 million to not.
Don't forget Ime Udoka for the Rockets. That was a change too.
Yeah, but he's already hired. That's what I'm saying. So, Harrison, we're running out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. Lakers in 7. That is HM Faigen's official prediction, and I like it. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
All right. Happy to do it anytime, guys.
All right, we'll be right back.
Tell Scott to quit ducking me.
I know, he is totally ducking me. This is Kaplan and Crew. We'll be back. KaplanandCrew.com.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk. 2023